Hello, everyone. Once again, this is Dare to Speak. There's a couple of things that I haven't talked about that's very, very disturbing. And I'm going to share that with you now. And just hopefully that a lot of you can actually put your own thoughts into it and what it could be. So here we go. Okay, just to let you know that for some years now, I haven't talked to any of my relatives from my mother's side of the family. Just maybe one or two people that I know well enough that I could trust, but to a degree, of course. Now, I thought I knew my family, and I talked about this before, about what my grandmother did to me and stuff like that, with molestation and a bunch of other things that happened. Now, there's a few things that happened that was very extremely horrific, and it also, it actually involves a great deal of witchcraft, black magic, whatever you want to call it. And what made it extremely disturbing was the things they had me do. And the things that I've seen. Now, like I said, I'm mostly over it. It doesn't really bother me that much, like the way it used to, because I didn't have a clue. I had a suspicion, but not a clue of what it could actually be. Now, again, like I said before, things are pretty much okay. But when you're betrayed at such a young age and you find out about it many years later, because at first a part of you doesn't want to believe it. It's like saying, how can I be betrayed by my own grandmother, aunt, uncles, or whatever? How can that even happen? And you get into some kind of denial. But I learned to accept it, and it made sense to me. And what I went through was I don't think it was anywhere near as bad as what my mom went through. I did a video earlier, a long time ago, in which it was during the 1970s when I was about 5 years old. My mom was going through a whole bunch of psychological and emotional problems, not knowing that my grandmother was the one behind it, and two of my aunts, not even having a fucking clue back then. Many times, there was this one time this is really hard, but something was done as a way of, I don't know if you want to consider it, I don't know what you want to call it, but there was a time where when I was a newborn, and then my mom being already emotionally distressed, that I was either she was bathing me, I think I was about maybe a week old or something, I don't know, something like that, and something compelled her. She felt this overwhelming, powerful force of negative energy telling her to kill me. And it's like saying, he's no one's around, no one's gonna see you. You know, like, and like trying to, and she was fighting it. She was fighting against it, and I found out that that also happened with my older brother, but when he was a baby. But with me, I know that, she told me that it was so powerfully overwhelming that she came close to doing it, and she struggled against it the best she could psychologically, and she started crying, and she thought that she was going crazy, that there's something wrong with her. Things happened to the point where she also attempted to commit suicide more than once. So that she couldn't take it, like this overwhelming feeling of depression. And one time she couldn't take it, and she had my grandmother sorry, she had my grandmother watch us for a while, and she went out for a walk, and she a feeling of depression came over her, and she just wanted to end it. So a voice told her, or she told herself, the next car that comes by, just walk in the middle of the street and get hit, and you'll die. And it was they were trying to make her do it so far, so powerfully. And again, the only thing that stopped her was her own kids. She did not want to leave me and my brothers, even though she didn't know my grandmother was behind it at that time. That's the only thing that stopped her. And I know that things would have gotten worse for me and my brothers if it did happen, if she did die. I don't even want to know at all what would have happened to me, what have happened to us. I don't even want to fucking know. Um, there was another time where she couldn't move. What do you call it? It's not necessarily sleep paralysis, but she heard us crying. But it wasn't crying like like we got hurt or whatever. And this was like, this when we were like a little bit older. Like we were toddlers. And she couldn't move out of the bed, and the screams and the agony of me and my brothers was horrifying. And that's when I found out later on that the screams were of us being molested. And I don't know how someone could just fucking just do that shit. But of course, I know now, when someone's been psychologically damaged, especially through their childhood, and then, like I said before, it makes it very easy for them to be psychopaths as a result of it. My mom told me there was times where she caught my grandmother staring at her with venomous hatred. She could just feel her look, her stare, and then she noticed that more than once. And then one time, she caught her staring at her, and the stare was like the stare of, I wish I could fucking kill you, or something like that, but a lot worse. But it got so unnerving that she just couldn't take it anymore. It says, "What? Why are you looking at me that way for?" In Spanish. She would say that in Spanish. And she would never really tell her. But she said it was so unnerving, and that's when she began to suspect that she was evil. I'm pretty certain she had an agenda, but why she had so much hate towards her, towards my mom, in that sense is, I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to go into detail about the molestation thing. It's just too much. It's too graphic. It's too. I mean, I remember the details, and I just don't want to get into it. So again, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Questions or comments, you know what to do. And this is Dare to Speak. And to all of you, take care.